quickly into some of the less known, but I think really interesting ways of delivering courses. Setting up a Mighty Networks community. I have one. It's here. This is the community right here. You can see it. Actually, you can see it here too. You have to move all the way to the left to show you that. You can set up, they have groups set up for interests or folks who have specific sub-interests within the larger nature of your network. So you can change that from groups to classes, and you can make them private, and you can charge for them. There's a lot of different ways that you can charge for them. I'm not going to cover that all here, but you can do it through Mighty Networks, or you can do it outside of Mighty Networks and then just manually add people, once they've paid. So the advantage of using something like Mighty Networks to deliver your courses over something like Teachable is this is inherently social. So there's a community feel to this that you're not going to get from any of these other options, which are more static. So even if something like this, like an email course from MailChimp, let's say, that's not interactive. People aren't really interacting with other class members, with you directly, or with any other element of the content other than straight email delivery, and then they can respond or not to you. Well, Mighty Networks flips that on its head. So you can have, let's say, a course with 7 or 10 or 12 people, which is small, but have really robust levels of interaction between those 7, 10, or 12 people, which adds such value to your course insofar as folks can interact with you as the teacher, but they can also interact with other members of the community. There are infinite ways of growing a Mighty Network community as well. They have an ambassador program. Again, I just launched this. This is the 10th of May, I believe, and we just made our Mighty Network site public on the 23rd, I think, of April. So, it's a small network, and I'm not really spending a lot of time on it, but I really think that this is the future of my own, business in terms of how I want to grow some of my own community. So I would check it out for classes. It's, for courses. It's not necessarily by default set up to do that, but I think with a little bit of hacking and a little bit of creativity and a little bit more imagination, you can do some really cool things with Mighty Networks in terms of brand building, cultivating a community, and really energizing your audience in a way that you can't really do well with any of these. So I would definitely check that out. And the last thing we're going to look at is Eventbrite. I haven't used that for course delivery, and I never really thought about it as a course delivery platform. But this course here, Tiny Habits, which is really, really popular. It's BJ Fogg, who I believe is a Stanford professor. He's given a couple really popular TED Talks. He and his wife, and maybe their extended team, I'm not sure how many people are involved, but they deliver their entire Tiny Habits 5-day program through Eventbrite. So that's an option that I've never considered. Maybe some of you have. It certainly seems to be working for them. They have a huge community. It's a very popular program, and I've seen nothing but good reviews about Tiny Habits. So, by dint of its delivery through Eventbrite, that certainly looks like an option that the rest of us ought to be considering as well. All right, so there you have it. 6 alternatives. My math obviously ain't my strong suit, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that should be 8 alternatives to Udemy. All right, so if you have any questions, I will post some links to some of my own schools and platforms below so you can see how I'm using them. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask. All right, thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.